I'm going to invite you on a little journey. And let's start you off with your beautiful journey. I know I'm on the clock, I've got my time, but you are going to have this little treat. If I can ask you all to put your hands on your belly and close your eyes for a second, just for a few minutes, 2 minutes, you're going to take a deep breath into your belly, fill your belly, expand your tummy with that beautiful breath, and release it. Breathe in deep again, expand your belly, deepen the breath, really fill that tummy up, and relax the breath. Last time in, take a deep breath in, and this time fill your belly under your ribs and under your shoulder blades with air. Hold it in for a second or two before you release it. And keeping your eyes closed, allow yourself an opportunity to let your body speak to you. And do a little video movie, if you would like to call it that. Just go through your body gently. Feel the cells alive, feeling them breathing, feeling the excitement of being here today, feeling the beauty of you, feeling the voice within, nurtured and loved. And where in your body would you imagine that little, and when you take now into genius, feel the genius voice is to give you an image of what your genius walking would look like. Let it be filled with color of you, unique you. This beautiful image that you've got in your mind to show you the future you walking your genius talk. Breathe around. There's only one. Take a deep breath. Release the breath. Release the hands. And gently yourself back into the room. Bringing yourself back to you. And if you've got a journal handy, write down that image. You've got a little journal. You know, girls, it's essential 101. Carry a little journal, a tiny little book for you. You never know when you're going to get an insight from that beautiful image of your genius within. When you walk the talk of your genius, you walk with confidence, and you are you. And if you don't know how to get there, hopefully today we'll give you some insight on how to get there. So let's look at what is your hidden genius. On a practical level, your hidden genius, there is a platform where you can access a tool that helps you to get to your mind, that feeds from your genius. It's a self-coaching and self-accountability tool. That's on a practical level. But what about you and your hidden genius? Most of the time we go to meetings and we take our head, this part up into the head, this part up. This is all we work from. This is how we operate. We think only from here. We enter into life from this space. Yet we have all of this underneath us. Your hidden genius is inclusively exclusive. Inclusively exclusive. What does that mean? It means that you are exclusive, you are unique, and yet your mind and your body is inclusive of your genius. Our life is created by whatever is in our mind. That goes without saying, because our conditioning, our experiences, everything is stored up here. It's like our motherboard. It's all these neural pathways in our mind. You know, when you look into nature and you see these pathways, unknown pathways that animals create, it's because they're going towards a goal and they follow each other to that. Our thoughts are the same. And when a tree falls across that path, what do? What do animals do? COVID taught us that. COVID was that big state interrupt, we call it in the brain. It interrupted our life. It interrupted evolution. And at the same time, it catapulted evolution. Because your hidden genius was called to slow down. You were called to slow down. We were forced to slow down and take stock of who we really are. Take stock of what we really want. So your hidden genius is not only made up of the neural pathways in your brain and your experiences, but it's made up of a voice that is yet to be empowered. And when you empower your voice, you can empower other voices. And why do I say that? What is this? It's not a trick question, by the way. It's not a trick question. It's a pen. And you know to recognize that it's a pen. How? Because you learned that. You were taught what a pen does. And to some people, this pen would have meaning. To some people, it's just a pen. You cannot learn a genius if you haven't recognized it. You cannot recognize it if you haven't learned it. You cannot understand the value of what this brings to you if you haven't learned how to use it. The same is with that deep inner power within you, that hidden voice that I call your hidden genius. So we are busy running an expose on your genius on the platform where you can do it yourself. But how do you get to recognize genius? So let's unpack what genius walking, talking would look like. And it's different for everyone. So we all have different role models that we look up to. And there are so many people that have passed from many, many moons ago, from the person that invented the wheel, to the Wright brothers who invented flight, to Albert Einstein, to Tesla, to Elon Musk and Richard Branson. Those are people who walk a specific talk. We call it staying in their lane. They don't get into each other's lane. They walk, they talk because they're walking from a place of their absolute truth. If you've never been taught what your truth looks like, or you've never been called to find your truth, you will not recognize it. But you can recognize it in somebody else, because you get those feelings of, I really like what this person is saying. I really like the way they dress. I really like the way they show up in the world. There's something about them. That's why we follow people on technology gives us that advantage. We can follow people on YouTube, on Instagram. We follow people that we would like to be like, that we respect. So we have to learn to find our genius is learning a new value system that respects our genius, a value system that uplifts our genius. So when we look at what is the genius really, we look at firstly, what would your genius look like? What are the qualities about it? And if you remember that space, the little journey we went to when we started, and you think about the vision that you saw, that what you heard, what it smelled like, what it tasted like, whatever that showed you in that space, there was calm, there was gentleness, there was clarity, compassion, and kindness to self. And nobody judged that image on the outside. Only you saw it. But when we go to our mind and we look into the world, we step into it with from a place of a little bit of fear, because we compare ourselves with other people. We compete with other people. We copy and paste other people's ideas. We innovate innovation. Well, we try to. What about inventing you? Becoming an invention, because inventions are what innovation is rooted on. What about innovating the invention of you, the uniqueness of you? Because the uniqueness of you will never feel fear the way you used to, because you will learn to be self reliant, you'll learn to be self accountable, because you answer to you. You answer to your own value system, you answer to your truth. And how you show up in that space are the people that you will deal business with, you will attract into your life. The families, your tribe, you will attract people that are like you, because magnets attract magnets. And that's what makes you unstoppable. So when we look in the world and we look at people like Elon Musk and Albert Einstein, who have got a purpose to evolve technology, evolve thinking, to do whatever their purpose may be, their genius walks the talk of purpose, which tells us that when we get to know what our unique purpose is, we will walk the same talk, don't you think? So the path that I walk, we walk paths together, side by side, sometimes. But you never walk my path. I never walk your path. I never walk Elon's path. You were not going to walk Elon's path. You're going to walk your own path. Instead, we want to be something bigger and better than the next person, because we believe we've got to keep trying and keep doing it and keep proving ourselves. And ladies, and if there's gents on this call, we don't need to prove anything. We've just got to show up authentically with our value system, with the skills that we have acquired. Because your purpose may be to be the best parent ever, the parent of parents of parents of parents ever. It doesn't mean to say you're going to be the CEO of a huge blue chip organization. Your purpose may be quite different. No one purpose is better than another. Comparison is outdated. Illumination is the new trend. Innovation of you is the new trend. And why is this so important in relation to the world trends today? Why is it so important? COVID highlighted the essential self-care that is required for us to evolve as a species. When you look at what has evolved humanity from the evolutionary psychology perspective, you will find that there are two major trends that they have noticed that shift evolution of human mankind and our thinking. Number one, it's technology. Number two, it's social interaction. So you're going to hear later on from a relationship expert on how to build relationships, a different kind of relationship. Because the first most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. When you recognize your authenticity and your truth, you will recognize it in others. But to find that relationship with yourself is not an easy task, because we have this mind and we have all these experiences and these filters and these thoughts that fly in and out. I mean, there's trillions of neurons in your brain. They're working overtime. But when we take that deep breath and we slow down into our body and we allow the voice to speak to us, we can influence the mind to think differently. And that's one of the bases of the platform for your Hidden Genius tool, by the way, is that when you slow down and you think differently, you find your truth, because nobody can tell you your truth. And very often people don't really want to see you successful. That's a reality. But if you believe that you are going to be successful, no matter what it is, whether you are a pool cleaner, whether you're a CEO of being a pool cleaner's company, whether you're a CEO of your home, it makes no difference. What matters is how you flow every day. So the qualities of flow within your genius are essential. The things that feed your genius are curiosity. It's a desire for an excitement. It's a desire to be more, to want more, not because you're competing, because you feel it's so right. And that's rooted in the depth of who you are. It's deep. So essentially, your genius is the deepest and highest aspect of who you are. And you may or may not walk that talk yet. You may be open to it. The fact that you're on this call says on a Saturday afternoon, if you're in South Africa, it's a Saturday afternoon. If you're in the rest of the world, it's either very early or late at night. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're on the call, it means that you are ready to shift into a different self-care space, to make 2020 count for 2021, to make it your best year, your year of evolving who you are. The flow of who you are, the harmony, the kindness, compassion to self. You cannot act it if you haven't learned how to treat yourself with that. Generations have taught us different ways of being and doing. It is what it is. We can't look back and blame the past. We can't blame anybody for what's going on right now. All we can do is focus on a future. And that's a choice we have. Focus on the future or look behind. The look in the rearview mirror or look on the road ahead. So you can ask yourself, ask that genius image that you had, that empowering your voice will take what? What would it take for you to empower your voice? Honestly, what does your genius look like? And the big question is, when you're walking your genius talk, how differently will you show up in the world? You all dream it. Every single one of us dream it. The fact that I'm here talking to you about it tells you that I have found mine. I cannot teach something unless I've mastered it. I can recognize it. We cannot teach what we have not mastered. You're going to hear just now from Kelly about mastering your money. Essential for women in business today. No one else is going to give us, or we might be lucky enough to inherit something, but nobody else is going to give us a silver platter and say, here's your life, live it. And it's all the beautiful trimmings, there's fresh strawberries and cream and French bubbles and whatever it is, no one's going to hand you that. You have to make it for yourself now. And that's exciting because you can put on your platter whatever you like. Whatever you like. So you can ask yourself, what does my platter look like? What would my genius like to put on my platter for life? And then the big fear-driven big stick, because we are so used to this big stick. The big stick, it can be your phone, it can be your mouse, whatever it is, the big stick that holds us accountable to show up in the world to match other people. What about the big stick being, changing that to being your presence, to showing up with that self-accountability, the beautiful aspect of you, the person who knows where they're going, who knows why they're going there, and who understands that no matter what, they will get there. You make a decision. We make a decision in our mind to step into being the best version of who we are because we want to. Because the alternative is a consequence we don't want anymore. The liberation, the freedom within that comes from stepping into your genius means that nobody can tell you what to think anymore. You think what you want to think. You take everything you've been taught from your culture, from your skill set, and in the words of Tambo and Dora, deepen your skills, deepen your lane. Find what your lane needs and reach out and ask for a little bit of support as you go along. Because there are people, women who are secure in themselves will always support other women. They will always help other women. They always say, here's my network, let's help yourself. Where if you're secure in who you are, you will work and collaborate. Competition is so past tense. The new tense is collaboration. Collaboration replaces competition. Together, we make things happen. We shine on each other's strengths. And when we know someone is not showing up in their best, we don't, you've seen that. We don't straighten their crown in public. Noble and graceful women don't do that. We gently reach out and offer support. We offer, can we help you? Do you know that that color looks really good on you compared to that color? There's a way about when you walk your talk as a noble, graceful woman and a man, when you walk from that place of your genius. So ask yourself, what are the consequences of ignoring your genius? What are those consequences? And how do you harness it? Who are you? Because hashtag you deserve you and I believe in you. So if you'd like to find out, all you have to do, very simply, is go to yourhiddengenius.org, choose a topic. I've got a testimonial to share with you from Yvonne Shaka Shaka, you know, Princess of Africa. Her and I worked on one of them, the Authentic Empowerment for Amazing Women. And her response was that this taught her how to do good better. How amazing is that? Would you like to do good better? Would you like to do you better? So to everyone out there, you are not alone. We are together. Hashtag I believe in you. So thank you for your time. We look forward to your questions and answers at the end. Thank you.
Wow.